space where minds collide. Annie and Kerrie gonna be your guide. Psychic wonders and spiritual delight will unveil the mysteries in the light. Tune your senses, sharpen your mind. Feel the energy, let your soul unwind. Tarot cards and angels' wings. Sound healing makes your spirit sing. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days. Energy flowing through your veins. Unlock your power, break the chains. With Annie and Kerrie on this ride, discover the universe inside. Healing words in crystal glow, guiding through the ebb and flow. Feel the love that we impart. Awaken the magic in your heart. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days.
Hello.
Hi, Annie. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Cole. So happy to see you.
Yes.
Hi, Sophia. I've missed you for the last 2 hours. I'm glad you're back.
Colleen, out of interest, how are you feeling at the minute? We did something pretty amazing at the gathering today that actually involved you. Hi, Esther.
Hi, Mirani. We've missed you too for the last 2 hours.
Hi, Marani. Oh, Marani. I opened that beautiful little gift.
Oh, so did I.
And it brought a tear to my eye. I just want you to know I am wearing the bracelet right now, and the necklace is just precious. Thank you so much.
Me too. Me too.
Love it.
Mine's got a turtle on it.
Oh, that's so cute. Hi, Esther. Hi, Anne. Strange hi. Do tell. Annie, do you want to explain what happened today a little bit at the gathering for Colleen? She's saying, do tell.
Yeah, the very first time in 4 years, Paul, God love him, decided he was going to run the session at the gathering. Now, when he said that, I nearly fell on my face. But he had a mission.
He did a good job.
He did a good job. I've got it on video. So he got everybody who was there to form a wheel, an energy wheel with a vortex in the middle, with like one hand on the shoulder, one hand in the middle. And they made this wheel, and they passed energy from one person to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. And the whole purpose of it was to spin the energy faster and faster and faster. And it was being sent to New South Wales, to you, Miss Colleen. So that was probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And Kerrie and I were outside of the circle, but we could both see it. I could actually see it spinning.
Mm-hmm.
And Kerrie could see it spinning.
Mm-hmm.
So there was all of these people all joined together in the one space, sending you all of this energy. So I hope you received it, and I hope that you felt it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that high was the energy coming from us to you.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, pumpkin.
Yeah, we're very, very aware of how much energy you're sharing with everybody else right now, where you are, and how much you're pouring out. And the group wanted to give back to you. And a few of them are in here tonight. So Arani helped with that. Soph was in that. Jeanette was in that. So it was awesome. It was
So there you
awesome.
go, my lovely.
I can't
I hope
see
you feel
Gail
better.
in here, but just quickly, Annie, if you don't mind, AJ, after the live tonight, I'm going to send you a quick message on Facebook Messenger group just about tomorrow. So keep your eye out for that. There you go. I think that's all the informalities for tonight.
Pauline has just said, that was when I was with Mum, and now it makes sense. You're not late, Ray. Perfect timing, my darling. Hello. So yes, I'm glad you felt it. I'm glad it maybe helped a tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your cats?
Yes, they're complaining. Yusi wants to come in and steal crystals, and he's not allowed. I'll let my baby in. No, because what you'll see is him jumping across me, behind me, to get up to grab the whatever crystal he's decided he's after today on my
And he
shoulder.
keeps breaking them.
And he keeps breaking them because he wants ones bigger than he can carry. So he can stay outside. What is cute, though, is I've got a little mat at my door that says, please check your energy at the door. And what I'm watching right now, because he's not allowed in, is a little paw is coming under the bottom of the door, and I'm watching the mat slowly get pulled outside the door. So if he's not allowed to sit in here, he's going to take the mat outside the door and sit on that instead.
Bless him.
Very cheeky, very
Bless his
cheeky.
cotton socks.
Well, we're in for a treat tonight. Now, I put something I thought it was funny, right? You guys may not think it was that funny. But in the Angel Feathers chat group, when I shared the live for tonight in there, in my commentary about what we're going to be talking about for tonight's topic, I put in that you're in for a treat, and then in brackets, get it, trick or treat for October, but then all seriously, and he's going to be doing this, just to see how many people actually read what I write.
I read it.
I thought it was funny. But seriously, you are in for a treat. No tricks tonight, only treats tonight. Because Annie's got tonight's topic. So I'm going to do the meditation. And I did a little bit of a cheat on this one because it's all about remember, recognize, realize. Something that I was given a very, very, very long time ago was those 3 words and the meaning behind them. But Annie's going to go into that. But based on that, I then sat with my guides and put together a meditation around that for tonight. And because I liked it so much, what they'd given me, I decided to pre-record it so that I could also make it available after the live tonight on YouTube. Is probably the easiest place to find it again, because Facebook things, you scroll forever to find them. So I'll put it on the meditations playlist on YouTube. And I'm going to give you in that one just a little bit longer of that time sitting in the space so you can connect more, whereas tonight it's going to be a more condensed version of it because obviously we're doing it as an intro to the live. Does that all make sense?
Absolutely.
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 So do you think we're all ready? Is everyone ready to settle in? We'll connect everybody's energy and do this short meditation with the group.
Go, go, go.
Okay, let's go. head so that you are comfortable and your spine is straight. Feel your feet on the floor and the feel of the chair beneath you. Take a deep, slow breath in, and as you exhale, allow yourself to arrive here in this moment where spirit meets breath and the light of your soul begins to shine through. Now, when you're ready, close your eyes. Feel the presence of peace wrapping around you like a soft golden light, filling your heart, your mind, your energy field. As you breathe, let that golden light move through you, cleansing, clearing, and calming every part of your being. And with every breath, you are remembering. Remember who you are. You are not your story, your past, or your doubts. You are spirit, eternal, radiant, and whole. Feel that truth awakening now within your heart. A spark of divine remembrance, the whisper of your soul saying, I am light, I am love, I am divine. Now gently bring your awareness to the space above your head, the crown of light that connects you with the Creator, with Source, with the Holy Spirit of love that breathes life through all things. Recognize your divine connection. The same breath that moves through the stars moves through you. The same wisdom that flows through angels flows through your spirit. Recognize the gifts that you carry, the knowing, the seeing, the feeling, the ways you are guided and inspired. These gifts have always been within you, and now you honor them. Now bring both hands to your heart. Feel its rhythm, the sacred drum of your being. Breathe into your heart space, and as your breath deepens, imagine your light expanding, a radiant glow flowing from your heart into your auric field and further out into the room around you, expanding even further out out into the world. Realize your purpose, your potential, your divine role in this great tapestry of life, the journey of human experience. You are here for a reason. You are love expressing itself as human. You are the hands and heart of the divine in action. Realize how beautiful that is. How powerful you truly are when you walk in remembrance of your spirit and the spiritual gifts that resonate within you. Take one final deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel yourself fully anchored in body, in spirit, in truth. You have remembered who you are, recognized your divine connection, and realized the light you bring to this world. This sacred awareness, now encoded by your spirit, your higher self, into your waking subconscious and conscious mind. Feel your feet on the floor and the feel of the chair beneath you. Take a deep breath and another. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes, bringing this sacred awareness back with you into this moment.
That was lovely, Kerrie. Thank you.
You're so welcome. In the longer version one, I actually, leave you in that light for a period of time so that you can really deeply connect with your soul essence and that purpose. So it's a good one to do if you've got time to do it. Just that extra sort of 5-10 minutes in that space on your own before I start to bring you back again. So there you go. Shelley.
Oh. And Amanda said it was beautiful. It was beautiful, Miss Kerrie.
Oh, you're so welcome. I really enjoyed putting that together. Hi, Elzarel. Nice to see you in chat with us tonight.
Okay. So, which is the title of my book.
So, dot.
So, at the beginning of this year, at the beginning of every year, what I usually do is I write a list of all the things that I want to achieve. And then at the end of the year, which is in 5 minutes, I take off all the things that I have achieved. And I think, well, maybe I didn't need that or whatever. Or I move it to the next year because maybe I didn't achieve that. And this year I thought, I'm not doing that. So this year, I just wrote down 2 things. I wrote down self-care, still working on that one, and I wrote down surrender. And Kerrie and I, for the past months, have been talking about downloads and uploads, buzzing in our ears, feeling dizzy, lost time, time either going, like I've got time zooming past me, but also time stretching for me. When I'm really busy, the time will stretch for me, and I end up having time to do all the things that I needed to do. No concept of time anymore at all. Inability to sleep, seeing numbers all the time. And I got to the point where I was just saying to people, my angels and my guides, just send me an email, stop sending me numbers, just send me an email. They didn't, but what they did do was they sent all this other stuff. So this is all about synchronicities. And because we've all been waffling on about this stuff, I thought I would share what it means for me, because it's okay saying, well, I've had buzzing in my ears. I actually took myself to the doctors to see if I was okay, and he told me there was nothing wrong with me. So, and somebody else did that too, took themselves off to the doctors, and they were fine as well. So what I thought I'd do tonight was I would just give you just a bit of what my journey has looked like for me and what I'm have been doing, and try to make all this download upload stuff real. So it's been very, very real for me. It kind of started when I had a Umana session with Nate, and I don't normally see things. I feel things and I know stuff, but I don't usually see things. So this just blew my mind. It totally blew me away. I was on the phone to Kerrie like a blithering idiot. Oh, this happened and this happened and this happened. So what happened was, it was like watching a movie. So the first thing I saw was I was in a brown tunic with brown like rags on my feet, tied with rags, and I had a donkey, and I was walking towards Jerusalem, and I was a pilgrim. That was the first thing I saw. Now, don't ask me. I could see Jerusalem in the distance, and that was my goal. That was where I was heading. And then the picture flicked and it changed. And I was in a big long cloak with leaves all over it. And I was hiding in a hedge because people were hunting me down. So they came along and they didn't see me. So I stayed in hiding, and then I ran away. Snap, I was diving underwater, and I was really scared, and I couldn't breathe. And this voice just said, breathe, breathe. You can breathe. So I thought, okay, whatever. Big deep breath. I am swimming like a little mermaid. And there's all these incredible, beautiful buildings, like fabulous. If any of you have seen the Tartaria stuff, is that how you say it, Kerrie?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you've seen that, that's what it looked like. It was like all these giant buildings with beautiful spires, and it was just the most glorious thing. So I'm scooting in and out. And the next thing that happened was, all of a sudden, this kind of space opened up above me, and I got sucked upwards, and I'm zooming upwards, upwards, upwards. And I was on another planet, and I was flying through and over the most beautiful forests with fields of flowers, and it was just incredible. So that was kind of my first sort of epiphany, that all of these things just click, click, click. So it took me, now when we're talking about uploads, some of this stuff, it's taken this long because there's stuff you've just got to sit with. And you have a choice there. You can either sit with it or just go, yeah, whatever.
That's right.
And it'll just disappear. But there was all this stuff that I felt, I really need to sit with this. So I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. So this is just part of it. So when all of that happened, I rang Nate, and I was like a crazy woman. Oh, this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. Then I rang Kerrie, and it was like, then this happened, and then this happened. Totally blew my mind. Totally spun me out. So it was just absolutely unreal for me.
It
And
was
then,
really interesting, Annie, because it was almost like, yeah, we're going to show you a little bit of the past life stuff, but actually, what we really want to show you is your connection to everything.
mm,
You
yeah,
know, it was just awesome.
it was
Just amazing.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spun me out completely. So a fair while after that, I decided I needed a reading. And I
Mhm.
worked with a lady who's a medium. And I thought, I'll just go and see her. Just why not? She's there, I'm there. We'll just go and have a reading with her. So, for those of you who know my beautiful Elizabeth, um, she brought through Miss Elizabeth. And for those of you who know my beautiful Elizabeth, she said, I've got Liz with me. And Miss Elizabeth said, no, you haven't. You have Elizabeth. And she says, I've just been told off. And I've just been told that it wasn't Liz, it was Elizabeth. She's never been Liz. She's
Yeah,
Liz. And I went,
that's Elizabeth.
that would be her. And she said, and she's so powerful. And I went, that would be her. And she said, I've asked her if she'll work with me. And she said, no, you're not my person. Annie's my person. And she's just turned me down flat. And I went, that's my Elizabeth. Anyway, she told me that Elizabeth told her that Elizabeth and I were druids in England. Now, when Elizabeth passed away, I got all of her books, and so much of it is the druid stuff. There's pamphlets and
Wow.
pages, lots and lots of stuff.
Mm.
So she said that when we were in England, we were in Cornwall, and we met Jesus in Cornwall, and we went to see him. And my first thought was, nah, Jesus came to see Elizabeth, which is probably this. But I didn't even know that Jesus had been to Cornwall. So I just was like puzzled by this. So I came back and I had a look. And he was there with his uncle. And he was only a teenager while he was there. And his uncle was a tin merchant that traveled all over the place. So that was really interesting. And then I thought, I wonder if he went to Scotland. Now, there's an island off of Skye, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world. The fairy flag is there. The fairy pools are there. It's all about the fae up there. There is an island up there called the island of Isa. Now, Isa is another name for Jesus. ESAU, Isa, is another name for Jesus. And that was the name that Mary Magdalene called him. So that blew my tiny mind. I'm amazed my head hasn't exploded yet with all of this stuff that's happening. And that was, and I thought back and I thought, this is really interesting that I had been in Cornwall with Elizabeth and I had met Jesus. And I thought, okay, that's really exciting. And then Miss Kerrie gave me a book, and it's called The Expected One. Now, Colleen has also read this book. I got to, and like Colleen, there's 3 others that follow it. I've read them all. Kerrie's only read the first one. I've gone through the whole series. I've read a lot of them.
I knew timing is now right for you when I handed you that book. I went, you are now ready for this book.
Yeah. So I got to page 10 and I was crying. And I rang Kerrie. I'm crying. And she said, what are you crying at? And I said, I'm at page 10 in your book and I'm crying. So the woman who's the heroine of the story, she was in Jerusalem and she was hot and it was busy. And this woman has visions. She's an author and she has visions. And it was really hot and it was really, really busy. And she plonked herself down on a bench. And all of a sudden she had this vision. And this vision was of hordes and hordes of people, mostly men, following Jesus, who was going to carrying the cross, and Mary Magdalene and his mother Mary were there. And I got this incredible flashback about my Umana session, where I was a pilgrim, where I was on my way to Jerusalem. And I heard this voice in my head say, "You were there." And I thought, this is again, like a stupid Scottish girl, like, these are my synchronicities. And, like, if you ever needed a signery sign, because I do sometimes, that kicked in another remembrance. And last year, I think, Gail, who's not on here tonight, she's actually in Melbourne this evening, but Gail did a soul to source reading with me. And I went back to Gail's soul to source reading. And she, when she does it, there's pages and pages, and it's really interesting. But she tested in this reading, she'd never heard any of this from me, if I had been to the crucifixion, and it came up positive that I had been there at that time in Jerusalem, probably in my brown tunic, crying with my donkey. Too many synchronicities, there's no such thing as a coincidence, just too many things that just all kind of kicked in. And I thought, well, I can't ignore all of this, like there's just too many things in this that are just, just resonating so
When
hard.
Annie rang me in tears and she goes, "I'm reading the book and I'm up to page 10. And I went, "Oh, you finally worked out that we were both at the crucifixion." And I said, and it wasn't just us. I've got a feeling, others that have come into our soul tribe were there as well. And I said, "Oh, good, you've now worked this out." And they said, it's funny because someone had just asked me how long I've worked with you, how long have I known you, and how long have I worked with Annie? And I said, well, that depends. Are we talking just this lifetime, or when we were both at the crucifixion together, or when we were both burned on the stake in 1662? Right?
Yeah. You finally caught up with me. Yeah, it does. It's your soul tribe. You meet your soul tribe over and over again. So the buzzing, the feeling dizzy, the losing time, it's all that. It's leveling up. That's what it's about. It's about your vibrational energy leveling up. Now, with the Umana, I think it kind of started with the Pelawa, because the Pelawa clears everything. Then the Umana blew my mind. Now, with the Umana and the Pelawa, every single person's experience is individual, because you get what you need. Obviously, I needed smacked with a wet fish. I just
Annie,
needed this.
Just before you go on with that, for anyone that's in our chat, because I can see there's a few people in here that may not know about Umana or Pelawa. Pelawa is an energy technique, energy healing technique that reconnects your spiritual DNA. It's a very individual journey. It's a lighter energy than, say, working with Reiki, which is more of a physically based. Pelawa is reconnection of the spiritual DNA. Whilst Umana, that technique actually opens chakras 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And once they're open, they're never closed again. So if you do another Umana, all it does is expand those chakras further. And those chakras are within your auric field and above into your higher self. So just a quick explanation for anyone on here that may not be aware of what those two things are. Sorry, Annie, back to your story.
That's okay.
So,
Kerrie, Gail, Sophia, and Nate, and me all do Pelawa and Umana. But my experience will be completely different from everybody else's experience because, as I said, you get what you need for your spiritual growth. And obviously that was, you know, I was blessed to have all that happen. That just blew me away. So what this is meaning is if you've got all this happening, it means that your vibration is rising and that you're getting more in tune with the earth's energy and the energy of the collective, because the energy of the earth is rising and we have to rise with it. So if you're getting these feelings of deja vu, like I feel like I've been here before, or I can't put my finger on this, or whatever, sit with it, because it is about noticing the synchronicities, slowing down to recognize them, and then letting the information come through, and again sitting with it. And that's the important bit. You know, I say this all the time, you know, I waffle on about people do a course, or they do this, or they do that, or they do the other, and they take the box and they move forward. Maybe it's just me, but for me, it's about integrating it. I have to sit with it and just let it. It's like I'm like a coffee percolator. It's got to percolate till it gets to the top of my brain and it actually kind of sinks in. And all of these things, like individually, probably don't mean very much. But once you start to link it all up and put it all together, it kind of starts to make sense. You know, well, it did for me.
Yeah.
So I already said one of my goals for this year was to surrender. And I think that's what I've done. I think you can't control anything. Everything is totally out of your control, you know, and it's a divine pattern. You signed up for this nonsense. Like if you're sitting there going, why the hell did I sign up for this shit? There's a reason. So I would say no control. Don't try to control. Just accept it and think, is this for me? Does this work for me? Or is this not for me? Does this not work for me? So the surrender is the first one. The second thing I have learned is, and I've had this since I could walk, is faith. My faith has been with me. Now, whatever that looks like for you, all that, anytime in my life that the shit has hit the fan, and it happens a lot, you know, it happens to us all, I've always been rescued. I've always been saved. There's always been something happen that's sorted it. And no matter what the situation, like there's been situations where I've been homeless, I've been out of control, all this nonsense. Something always saves me, always. And it's that blind faith that it will be okay. And some of that is attitude. You can do the, oh, woe is me nonsense, or you can just think it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Because the next thing that I've learned is abundance. Because Kerrie and I both say this a lot. If you focus on lack, that's what you get. So every time, like at one point, everything I owned got stolen. My children were at home. They had gone home for Christmas. I had been in Sydney. I came back. They took the drawers out of the kitchen. The only thing left in the house were the carpets. That was the only thing left. Nothing else. The carpets and the bag that I had when I came home from Sydney, that was all I had to my name in the whole wide world. I lost everything. Just stuff. And I thought, and it was Christmas Eve. Go figure. So I thought, nothing I can do. I'm going to go to the pub, have my dinner. So I'm crying in my dinner in the pub. And this lady toddled up to me and she said, what's the matter with you? Now, this lady had tattoos from her head to her feet. She was the tattoo, her name was Raylene, and she had a tattoo shop in Woodridge, which is where I was out in Logan. Why are you crying? So I told her why I was crying, and it was like, dry your eyes, rainy face. And she wouldn't let me go home. She took me to her house because she said, it's Christmas Eve, you can't sleep on the floor. I've got a spare bed. We got very drunk. It was great. And we toddled home to her house. So she wouldn't let me go home the next day either. And at New Year, because I had no home to go to, basically, she took me up to the pub, and there was this man there who I had never met, never seen before, and he was a friend of hers, and we're talking, oh my goodness, 36 years ago. And this guy's name was John, and he was in the pub this day. And Raylene had, like, who's she and what you doing with her? So Raylene had told him what had happened to me. So I toddled into the pub with her that night, and this John man came over and sat beside us. And he said, "You don't belong here." And he handed me an envelope, and in the envelope was $3,500. And he said, "Get your arse out of here. Go and find a house," because my kids were coming home to go back to school. He said, "Go and find a house." And I said to him, "I'll pay you back." And he said, "No, you won't. I don't want it back." He said, "I'm paying this forward because someone did this for me." And I tried to pay him back, and he wouldn't have a bar of it. So I got myself out of Woodridge and put myself in Greenslopes, which is where my kids were going to school. From there, kind of never looked back. That's the abundance.
And these beautiful earth angels that just cross your path exactly where you need them.
Yeah.
And that sort of divine intervention that in the moment you just think, wow, that was incredible, but it's divine intervention.
Yeah. When my mum was dying, Paul and I didn't have a lot of money. And I was crying because I knew she was dying. And I said to him, "I've got to go home." And I said, "I'm not cooking. I'm going to the pub because I'm crying." So we went up to the pub and had dinner at the pub. And I said to him, "I'm going to put $50 in that machine." And he went, "Okay, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to win the money to go home." And I won $14,500 like that. I needed it, and it came. Now, if I don't need it, it doesn't. You know,
No.
it's got to be that but that abundance, have faith and assume that if you need this, whatever way it will come to you one way or the other. You know, that blew my time. And my mind gets blown all the time.
Yeah. And of course, when you're in that energy, you don't have to force it. You just naturally attract it.
Yeah.
Right?
It just comes.
It's when we have that desperation associated with it that we're actually holding it at bay. So you know it's incredible how that actually works. Not that we're telling you all to go out and play the pokies, because if you really, really want it, guess what? It's not going to happen. It's just going to take it from you. This was just the universe answering something for Annie really quickly with just a knowing that was going to happen, so she could get home and pay for the flights home. Yeah.
I got home on the Saturday.
Yeah, it is an amazing story. It is an amazing story. And look, as Nate always says, you know, universe amaze me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Stay in that energy of just hand it over. Universe amaze me, you know, as Nate says, and as his page is titled. Very true.
Yeah. Like, I got home on the Saturday, had a wonderful time for a couple of days with my mum, and she passed on the Thursday. So if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have got there. And, you know, like, we knew she was really sick, and her passing was actually a blessing because she wanted to go. She was done. She toddled off to find my dad. And that was fine. You know, like, I was okay with it. I'm okay with people dying. It's part of life. I get the shits when they leave me, but I know that they have to go, and that's okay. You know, we do death very badly in the Western world. You know, my brother and my sister have gone as well, and they annoy me more now than they ever did when I was here.
Well, they've got a direct line to you now, don't they?
No. Sorry, you.
They don't have to worry about a time zone. They just pop in.
Yeah, they just do it to me. Okay. So, forgiveness. Forgiveness is around, for me, I've done some shit stuff in my life, you know, like we all have. And there's some people have done some shit stuff to me too, you know. And that one's hard. I had to work through that one, really, really hard work. That was shadow work. Some of it was horrible. You know, shadow work sounds all very airy-fairy, but when you're in the fetal position in a corner sobbing for remembering stuff, you know, I'm still doing some of that because you think you've dealt with it and ping, back it bloody well comes. Have you really dealt with it? Let's try this again, you know? So that one, and forgiving yourself for some of the stuff that you've done and acknowledging that. For me, that's about personal responsibility. You know, a lot of people blame everybody else in the universe for whatever has happened to them. I own it. I always have. Kerrie will tell you that. You know,
Yeah.
if I stuff up, I'm the first one to say that was me. I did that. I shouldn't have done that. And we've had that situation happen
We've
a few times.
it's an interesting one, and I'm going to just give a shout out to my beautiful mother who has passed. But she said to me when I was younger, right? You're not always going to get it right, and sometimes the things that you do, you'll be sorry for. You need to hold yourself accountable, but also forgive yourself for it. So when that happens, go give yourself a good talking to in the mirror and then forgive yourself, right? Because you cannot look yourself in the eye and trick yourself because you know, right? And I think that was a really, as a teenager, really incredible piece of advice that she gave me. But with that forgiveness, Annie, and that shadow work, you know how much I don't like going into the energy of shadow work. And my guides forced me to do it with this crazy book that they made me put together. I went through every shadow work moment in the last 40 years into this. But that forgiveness stuff, even with forgiving other people as well as forgiving yourself, sometimes you think they don't deserve me to forgive them. But in reality, the forgiveness isn't for that person. The forgiveness is so you no longer carry the energy within you.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose of it.
Yeah.
So whether it's about forgiving somebody else or a situation or whatever, or forgiving yourself, that's about no longer needing to carry that energy.
Yeah. Because if you do that, and lots of people do that, it's like baggage on your shoulders. And that means they've won. And I refuse to let that happen, you know.
And there you go. Susie saying the same thing. So true. You can't begin your healing unless you forgive 100% because you're carrying it in your energy if you don't.
Yeah.
So it is really, really important.
There's another 2, 3. Strength. It's really, really easy to be strong when things are going your way. It's really, really difficult to be strong when everything is going wrong for you. It's much more difficult, which brings you straight back to faith and abundance.
Yeah.
It's like, assume that it's going to be okay. Assume that it will sort itself out. Assume. And if it's too hard for you, give it to the universe and say, you need to sort this. I can't do this. You know, it's hard.
Yeah.
So that's the other one, strength.
Yeah.
This one for me now, I've had a soul to source reading and I've had past life readings as well. And in every single lifetime, no matter where I've been or what I've done, including this one, my thing is service to others. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. I've tried to get out of these situations. Like, I'm always in service one way or another. Some of that is around my community service work. Some of it is around my youth work. Some of it is around working with people with domestic violence. Some of it's around working with people in the jails. Some of it's around working with mental health. Some of it's around it. And like, I've got no answer to solve any of their problems. None of it. It's about holding space and not judging and doing whatever you can to make them feel better. Like, my motto that's attached to my business is hope, honesty, openness, professionalism, and ethics.
Yeah.
And that's what I do as part of my service. I want to give people hope. And that was why I was community education. My thing around that was, if I taught people how to do shit, they would be able to do it the next time. If I taught them, like, not just me, I had teams of people that did this with me, that if we taught them how to, like, get them a job, if we gave them skills, they could get a job and it could get them out of the mess that they were in. You know, sometimes we had to get them housing first. We had people that were living in their cars and shouting in the park and all that stuff. We had to sort that stuff out first before we could put them into a space where we could train them and get to feed them, for God's sake, you know.
Yeah.
And our branches all did that. But that teacher thing has been with me forever, never, never. And that's exactly what it's about, you know. And it's now, who was it said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. And
I think everyone, Annie, in some way or form comes in service.
Yeah.
Right? Because if we all come with that energy of what can I do to lift things up and not tear them down, that's where we're moving into this new energy and to this new way of being instead of the what's in it for me stuff. And that understanding of that perhaps every lifetime we've come here with a purpose of service in one way or another.
Yeah.
You know.
Not everybody, Kerrie. Not everybody.
Maybe not.
There's, the thing around that one is so many people do the what's in it for me. You know, like, or if they do stuff, they expect something in return. With proper service, you just do it. You don't even think about
that's right. It's just a willingness to serve and to lift somebody else up. And that holding space that you mentioned, incredibly important. And that can just be sitting with someone, not even talking, right? It's just being able to hold that energy for them and help them release that from their energy to lift them back up again, you know?
Friday, I sat with a woman for 45 minutes and all she did was cry. And people, I hate it when people apologise for crying. I don't apologise for me, it's a release. You're allowed to.
It's light in our tears, liquid light. It's emotion, energy in motion. And it can release happiness, you know, into joy, and it can also release any grief or trauma. So it's actually a really important thing to do. Sophia just said strength comes in so many forms. It really does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It really does. And Les mentioned before that for him, it's in gratitude as well.
Well, that's my final one. It's gratitude.
There you go. Preempt.
Because, and you know, like Marani is saying service is good as long as you self-service as well. Yeah.
Yes.
That's true too. That's absolutely
boundaries,
true.
Right? There's boundaries to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Sophia and the strength stuff, you know, sometimes strength means stepping back. It doesn't mean stepping in. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it means stepping back. You know, the strength can look in so many different forms, but I just feel I'm back to faith. You know, have faith. Give it to the angels. Give it to your guides. Give it to the universe. Give it to whatever the heck you call it. You know, because that's really, really important as well. Intention rather than expectation. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. So I hope some of that has kind of made sense to you. The gratitude one for me, that one was really easy. I have a young man who comes to see me, and like I've spoken of him before, where he's living in the car, and he's been there for nearly 2 years now. And like I get up in the morning and I can go to the bathroom, and then I can make myself a coffee, and then I can have a shower. And like all this winter, he's been living in his car, and it's been freaking freezing, you know. And I often think about him, and I think I'm so grateful to have a bed. I'm so grateful to have water. I'm so grateful for a little shower. You know, just little tiny things. You know, there's so many things that I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
So that's another one. You know, like Lisa has said, set your intention. And when I was
intention rather than expectation.
Yeah. When I was moving, I had a checklist of what I wanted, and I got it, and it was just by accident. I didn't even fill the forms in properly. And the woman just said, "Here it is. This is yours." 20 minutes after and there was 80 people here to look at this house. And she said, you walked down the path, and she said, I was just going to give it to you. And
Yeah.
that was, like it was yours.
And again, that's an energy thing, isn't it? It's an energy and I just really, like, it really needs to be with this person. It's matching.
Yeah.
It's actually reading energy again. Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope some of that has kind of made sense to you, and maybe gives you some, and I'm sure there's so many of you on here that all have your own stories about what it looks like for you. But I think some of the most important stuff around it is that don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss the deja vu. Don't dismiss the synchronicities. Like, keep it in your head. Write it in your journal.
Yeah. That's it.
Because then you can go back to it and think that's triggered something, like what happened with my soul to source. So again, I got what I needed from that reading. I got what I needed from my medium reading. It just all lines up. So if any of you want either Umana or Pelawa, Sophia, who's on here, does it. Kerrie does it. I do it. Gail does it. Nate does it.
AJ does it.
Yeah. So there's a whole, and it can be done distance if any of you are far, far away.
Yeah.
Gail does the soul to source readings. I found that really interesting. Like I said, I went back to that one. And again, it's about, don't just read and dismiss. Sit with it and see what resonates with you. And it might not all resonate with you, but like, if something else comes in and triggers you, you think, ooh, that I remember that. I wrote that down. I've got that bit of paper, know. And I think at the moment, because of the way the energy is rising, and in this space, every single one of us who are anywhere close to this space, we're all saying the same stuff. Every single one of us. My feed in my Facebook and my Instagram is flooded with it. And again, because that's where my energy sits, so that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'm getting,
and I think it's bigger than that too, Annie. I think that common consciousness, if we think about common consciousness, that our guides, spirit, divine source, is bringing that similar messaging into people open to receive it, because it's also a validation. You're seeing it over and over and over again. And I think also the more that we work on to heal ourselves and step into that energy and trust that energy and trust that spiritual journey, not only does it heal us and connect us with the divine, it's also contributing to healing the collective and helping the collective raise into that energy as well. So I think the whole thing is really far reaching. And I mean, you and I have done this, I don't know, since we were born. I can't remember a time when I wasn't in this space, and I don't think you can either. But I'm still blown away. I'm still learning, as you are. The whole thing is still part of this spiritual growth, that we're always growing and learning, and the limitless possibilities of what can actually come through, and where we can actually go is amazing.
Yep, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, and the other thing too is it's a bit like Kerrie and I both kind of fell off this wagon for a little while because life got in the way, and we were in spaces where what we were doing and who we were, we've never been allowed to, either of us would ever have been allowed to have done this stuff. It would have been frowned upon. And both of us got ourselves into that space where, and I'm sure that there's others on here who have been in that space. But if you have the opportunity to do this, I would say you have to practice what you preach. You can't. It's one of my sessions. Walk the walk. Don't just talk the talk, because the more you do this, and the more you trust this, and the more you use your intuition, the sharper it gets.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start to trust that gut feeling, you know that it's right. The minute you don't trust it, you're screwed. All goes hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
But as long as you trust it and feel it, and you know that it's right, you're not going to go wrong. you're just not going to go wrong.
Yeah, and Lisa's right there. The information from a reading is a healing transmission, which often goes far beyond the spoken words. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if, and I've had situations in readings with people, and I'm sure you've had the same, Annie, where they go, oh, no, that doesn't sort of fit with me. And then a couple of days later, they come back and go, whoa, I just had this major epiphany of how that actually all fits in. Okay, yeah, because, you're just the messenger. And so that it often works that way, but it's not just the spoken words. It's what happens within your energy, what happens within the higher self from that communication, not just say consciously in that moment of the reading. So yeah, 100%, Lisa, that's spot on.
Yeah. All of us will have experienced this, like whether you're doing a Umana or whether, Sophia's doing her Lomi Lomi or whatever. As people walk out your door, they'll all say to you, my goodness, I feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. You've validated what I've been thinking. I'm so glad that I know where I'm going now. I'm on the right path. All of that stuff. Esther's saying the same. So blessed to be that vessel for spirit. Because like Kerrie said, we're the messengers. And if I'm with people and they say they don't like it, and I'll say, well, blame your guides.
That's right. That's it. It's from there. Don't shoot the messenger.
No, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what you guys are saying. So, blame them. Go and have a chat to them. Don't give me your grief. And they just look at me like, okay.
And if you're in New South Wales, Esther does some great readings there too, and she's a medium. So,
yeah,
we got so many beautifully gifted people here. And that validation, that's so important because it also leads people to go, oh, I can trust what's coming through to me, which is the real thing, isn't it? Learning to trust our own connection.
That's one of the things I tell people, though, because they say, I don't know if it's just in my head and I don't trust myself. And I say, you don't need to trust yourself. You just don't need to trust yourself because it's your guide. No, Rhiannon, I get cranky at them all the time. All the time. I'm like in my car going, come on, guys. Like, really, the universe has got a sense of humor. And it just does this stuff. And you go, okay, whatever.
And look, sometimes they get really cranky with us too because we're stubborn. Right? Yeah. Like we're stubborn and we just don't want to take on what's actually in our best interest or the path we're meant to be following. But they don't give up on us either. So that's sort of a bit of
they're up there having a cup of tea, going, for the love of God, what's she doing now?
I know. And, we ask for a sign. They go, I sent her the feathers. I dropped a coin. I gave her the angel numbers. It still wasn't enough.
Send me an email. Just send me an email.
Oh, it's funny. So that goes both ways, I think. Something about that though is think about them as your spiritual team. They are part of your team and they're on your side, on your side for you to fulfill your purpose. They're on your side for you in your spiritual growth in this journey. They're on your side. So think of them as a spiritual team, and they do work really hard over there to help try and keep us on track. And that's why this connecting with your intuition and trusting it, they celebrate that because they're working really hard from the other side as well.
Yep.
Need footnotes. Yeah.
Give me references.
I'm sure my guides at times on the other side of there going, why did I sign up to work with her?
Oh, I know mines do that. I'm sure the first one I had just resigned. It's like, no.
She's way too stubborn.
Yeah. Yes, we're not playing with this one. She's mental, which is fine.
Thank you, beautiful Annie, for being so open and sharing so rawly things that are just so personal to you on your journey as well. Like it's just, I am grateful. I am grateful. Namaste. The soul in me meets the soul in you. because that raw sharing, that's what we relate to. That's what all of us can relate to, and you'll relate to parts of it, maybe not other parts of it. Sort of go, yeah, I get this. It is all part of a journey that we're on, and we're on this pathway together. And if you're here with us tonight and you're seeing it, you know, you're part of the soul group. You're part of the soul family. And you're here for a reason, you know, and we thank you all in chat as well for your support, how you talk to each other. I mean, we watch all of that, and it just lights up our hearts, doesn't it, to see all that, Annie?
Yeah. I think the other thing too that's really important is try really hard to stay in love and joy.
Yeah.
Because try to keep the energies high.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa, I love you, Lisa. Let me put this up.
Yeah, I just grabbed it. It is.
That is so my thing. Like, I've got this thing about spiritual Barbies. You know, the cool in a caftan, love and peace, man. Ooh, blah, blah, blah. What's for dinner? You know, like, I've always got that. So for me, and sometimes authenticity is hard, because when you're in that space, like, I've done a couple of things with a couple of people, and one person said to me that as a reader, one, I'm a counselor, and two, I'm a truth teller. And I'll say that to people when I'm doing my readings. I don't bullshit. If I thought this was going to be a train wreck, I'm going to tell you it's a train wreck. And I've said to people in readings, you know, there's a common denominator in all of this, and it happens to be you. You know, like, you just got to stop blaming everybody else, because it keeps happening over and over again, and you're not learning your lesson. And that's the common denominator. So when you go and actually step in, step up, you know, stop faffing around and just get on with it, you know. So,
and authenticity
is difficult.
Yeah. And authenticity has a level of vulnerability to it, doesn't it?
But vulnerability is a superpower, Kerrie.
It is, but it holds people back sometimes from, like, putting a mask up as to what they might really think or feel about something.
Yeah, that's where your walls come down.
It's raw. Yeah,
your walls come down, and that's, I get it. Like, and again, no, Kerrie, you and I and a whole lot of people on here have all been in this space. We've all been in a space where we've been battered, beaten, bullied, blah, de, blah, de, blah, de, blah, you know, all of us. And the thing about that is, it's like, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to go through it, over it, under it, round it, or are you just going to have a self-pity party and put the doona over your head?
Yeah.
You know? And people don't like the truth. They hate it. They absolutely hate it. And and like, my thing around that one is, well, you know, sometimes you just, and I can be honest, people, I can be really gentle. I can be.
She can.
I can be when I need to be. But my thing around this is that I don't chase what I want. I attract what I need. And the people that come to me, I'll say to them, I'm from Glasgow. I have no filter. Are you okay with this? They go, yes. And
interesting though, Annie, because your guides are always going to give it to you in such a way that the other person needs to hear it regardless. Yeah. So as long as you're being true to the message that's coming through, you can only ever pass on exactly as they're meant to hear it.
Yeah, whether they like it or not.
Yep. Yeah.
You know,
that's
and again, that's the thing. Thank you, Miss Colleen. Are we going to look at my beautiful friend here? Where is she?
Hi, Gail.
Hi, Gail.
We've only been talking about you all night.
You can gently kick my ass, as you have so many times. Yes, I have, my darling. Yes, I have. I'm a bad, bad person. So, and thank you, Liz. Hello, Miss Gail. I've been talking about your soul to source readings. You need to listen to this afterwards.
Yep, absolutely.
I was talking about you. Your ears must have been burning.
And whilst we now know Gail's on here, and I've mentioned this to AJ earlier, please check your circle message after the show. I'm going to send you both a message about tomorrow. Okay. Well, I've got you you so you don't miss it.
Kerrie, for the love of God, I've just pulled 3 cards. Oh, for heaven's sake. Thank you. Oh, gosh. Okay. So the first card I pulled, forgiveness. We've just been talking about that. Thank you.
Oh,
Card I pulled, trust. We've just been talking about that. Having faith and trusting yourself and trusting your
mhm,
messages.
mhm.
Ah, dear, dear, dear. Blessings. We have many, many, many blessings. I've got 2 more, Kerrie.
Yep,
They
I
come
know.
down
I had 4 drop immediately. I picked them up, went all 4. Ah,
find,
yeah.
finding. I think for me, this card is about finding yourself,
Mhm.
you know, and sometimes in the chaos of life, you kind of get lost. And I'm back to Lisa's authenticity. You know, it's about finding yourself. Kiss my ass. Kelly, you are so naughty.
We love you
We
guys.
do love you. And the last one's transformation, because that's
Mhm.
what this remembering is all about. It's about remembering who you are, who you were, and transforming into what you can become,
Absolutely.
which is really exciting.
Remember, recognize, realize. Perfect in that reading. And it is why she loves her cards so much, because look, it just validated everything that she shared with us tonight. So, absolutely. So, I agree. I had 4 cards drop out. The first card is exposed and revealed. This is very much talking to that authenticity, like letting things come out and be what they really are and having things revealed. Now, for the collective, I actually feel that over the next fortnight, because this is what we're asking the message for, that more things are going to be exposed and revealed to you. Sometimes this card can almost be like, oh, something that was being hidden from you that's not that good is going to be revealed. But I'm not feeling that with this card. What I'm actually feeling is that, things are going to be exposed and revealed to you in a really good way to help you further on this journey. So start paying attention, because it's all to do with the power of your purpose. It's about unlocking that power of purpose. They want you to keep your ears wide open, right? So start listening to things that are coming in that is validating what you're seeing and feeling. So again, they're confirming all of that. And take a deep breath, everybody. That beautiful deep breath that connects us to that life force energy. Exactly what we did in that meditation tonight, earlier tonight. So there you go. What a great way to end.
Fabulous. So thank you very much, everybody, for being with us. We appreciate every single one of you. Yep, we love you, we love you, we love you. If this resonated with you, please hit that likey button. Please do the sharey. And if you
Mhm.
feel inclined, Kerrie has put up how you can buy us a coffee to keep us on air. So not expected, but greatly appreciated.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
if you, it's flicking across the bottom of our screens as we speak. So
And just a quick thank you to Wendy, who also bought us 20 coffees, which was just unbelievable. Thank you, Wendy. I know
thank
she's
you,
not on
Wendy.
tonight.
Or she
But if
might be,
she
she might
listens
be in
to
YouTube.
or if she listens to the replay, she'll get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, we've got all the thank yous coming in. Thank you so much for sharing again with us. We'll be back in another fortnight.
We will. We'll see you then.
And we'll see you all then. Good night, beautiful Annie. Thank you so much again for that. And good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Annie whispers secrets in the night, mystical visions taking flight. Kerrie's got that angel glow so bright, guiding through the dark to the light. Tarot cards spread on the cosmic rug, healing power in a gentle hug. Meditation's deep like an ancient grove, finding peace through the stars above. Mind, body, spirit, soul, we rise, angel feathers falling from the sky, psychic waves in a gentle tide. Let the universe be our guide. Sound healing echoes through the air, lifted hearts with a tender care. Spiritual journeys we embark, lighting flames within the dark. Messages from angels clear and true, whispering love in all we do. Psychic development strong and wise, open path